Antoine is going to be crowned your WR Season 10 champion.
And history's been made. Ballina, the first WOR PS4 champion. What a championship! What a season! Absolutely phenomenal!
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to World Online Racing League. This is one of the best seasons ever, Season 11, and we head to yet another new track. Last week, we were at Portimao in Portugal, where the Tier 1 drivers are this week. It was absolutely fantastic to watch the drivers battling it out. But this time, we head to Italy, and we head to Imola, such an iconic circuit, which provides so much history in the world of motorsport, in all series, especially in Formula 1. And I'm sure today it's definitely going to be no different. My name is Jess, your commentator for this evening, and we got quite a bit of a championship battle between Primos and JC, as well as Preach as well. Now, Primos is not here tonight, so JC could extend his championship lead quite significantly if he gets a good result tonight. We've also got Dave Rombus 35 points, VRT Josh 33, Perondi 29, Kerfuffle 25, Jay 25, Mark 25, Mr. Anchor 23, Top Jack 22, Christian Sendel 20, Neon 18, we've got Higgsy 16, we've got Peso 14, Mena 8, Lucas 6, Morgan Ball 4, Dewey 4, Deads 2, Sally 1, Sobrano 1, and then Garcia and Stin. Lefted, Clenzo, Milan, and MQ yet to score. So those are your championship standings. We'll go through the constructors in just a moment, but a bit of information about the track as we are about to head into the qualifying session then. So here we go then, folks. So it is very old school, but it's nice, fast flowing. And it's definitely a test of driver's skill. And there's little room for error because there is quite a little bit of a gap between the gravel traps and the barriers. So if you mess up, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And the speed that you get around this track is just absolutely magical. And we're going to go on board with Matthew Roberts now as he heads past turn 1. Heading in towards turn 2 of Variant Tamburello. Loads of aggression here at the moment as we're now heading into turns 3 and 4 now, and the curves are relatively flat around here. You come out turn 6 and you got a short run into the Variante Villeneuve and in towards Tosa of turn 7. Turn 8 can be taken flat out very easily. You come over a crest and you must make sure you keep the car to the right hand side of the track, and the best approach heading towards turn 9, possibly one of the most fastest and exciting corners coming up on the track. And now you're going to be heading towards the Aquamarine. You just got past there. Very easy to invalidate. It is very much tighter compared to the other two. And now you're going to be heading into the Variante Alta, which is tricky because it's a fast corner and you're travelling downhill. Front looking around here in these cars is quite common. And it's also a potential overtaking spot. Now you're going to be heading towards Riviera of turn 18, 16, 17 and 18. Then heading towards the final corner, a little bit of a slide there as he comes up, and Matthew Roberts was not happy with his lap, so he is going to be going into the pit lane. So, Preach has unfortunately invalidated. Let's see who hasn't invalidated their lap time. We got Peso, who I believe has just passed Akira Morali now, and he approaches it quite nicely. Now, already starting to see some quick lap times on the board. Primos actually setting the fastest time with a 1:13.8. Will anyone go and beat that, to be honest? I think Primos did go in the session, which is good news. So, we'll see how Peso does. Into the final sector he goes. And he needs to be early on the power here, and he hasn't got much ERS to use, and he derates before he gets to the line, so sometimes it could be a bit of an issue for him. P2 for McLaren driver for tonight. And we've got an Alfa Romeo driver coming across the line. That is Christian Sendel. Where is he? He is currently sitting in 11th. And he's staying 11th because he has invalidated. So then we've got, I believe, Racing Stint. Who's going into the pit lane. We've got Jay, who's returned after a week off last week. He comes and sits in P2. Now, there's certain corners around here where you can get a massive tow, and having a teammate around here is very, very crucial, as I don't want to ride on board with someone in the gravel trap. But Dewey is now going to be coming across the line, and he will come across the line in P4. Then we got Ferrari. I believe that's left it. I wonder. He did invalidate. Okay, he has invalidated. Then we got Mercedes of Prichter, who's been on 2 laps of those soft tyres of 1:14.8. Now, Prichter, apologies if I say the name wrong, but he is starting to come to his own here in WOR. He's been scoring some very good points recently as well. And is really almost starting to get into the top 3. But he didn't finish last week, so I'm sure he would definitely want to come back going into tonight's race. As Christian Sendel comes across the line in P2. Now, with them being on 2 lap old sauce, so that surely suggests it's going to rain. They did have a threat of rain last week, which changed quite a bit of what people can happen. We were quite clueless on the strategy, as Matthew Roberts invalidates, but luckily he only invalidates his out lap, so he's going to go again for attempt 2 around this Imola track. So we got Mena, Higgsy and Neon in the pits. Now, Mena's name is in tribute, obviously, spoiler alert, if you didn't watch the Grand Prix a few hours ago, I suggest you mute for a minute, because I'm about to give some spoilers. So I'll give you a chance to mute, because I don't want things. So now you had your chance to mute if you don't want to, and Fernando Alonso actually took a podium for the first time in so long, and it was great to see in real life, and he was very, very happy. And the Alpine cars were looking very, very strong this weekend in Qatar, where obviously Formula 1 hosted a Grand Prix there for the very first time. And to be honest, it was a very good Grand Prix. All the Alpine drivers replicate their success later on. Obviously, Primos is looking to, because he's JC's closest championship rival at the moment. Past turn 3 and 4, heading towards turn 5. And try and make sure that you try and use a bit of the exit curb. Not too much. But we've already seen quite a few people invalidate already. That is why they are already in the pit lane. Now don't forget, you can follow WOR on YouTube. If you haven't already, make sure you leave us a subscribe button. Turn that red button into a grey button. And also turn notifications on so you know when to check out our streams. And you can also follow WOR on Twitter at WOR League. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, by the way, I am GSGames95. So there we go. So Primos looking a bit twitchy, but obviously he's on his outlet, just warming the tyres a little bit more as well. Now it's looking like it's going to be an easy one-stop strategy, soft to hards. But I've seen some people here do soft to mediums. I tried to do that the other day, but we couldn't, because it was how we had rain-affected sessions in our Imola race I did last week in another league. So I do have quite a bit of experience racing around this track. And there was quite a few track alterations, in particular in 2008, which was covered in quite fast pace actually. They involved altering the layout of the pit lane entrance and widening of the Prieta curb escape route, as well as the resurfacing of the section of track between the exit of the pit and the end of the Tamburello curb. And obviously they made the curves a little bit more safer, and the tyre wear definitely as well. And obviously 2010 was a relaunch of Imola, and that's where GT cars started to come to its own and provide a little bit more flexibility. And now we saw Formula 1 come here last year and this year as well, and it was quite a weather-affected Grand Prix in real life as well. We did see quite a few incidents, in particular one that involves Valtteri Bottas and George Russell. They didn't really get on well after that race, but to be honest, it was both their fault, personally. But I'm not going to argue too much about that. Anyway, Primos sets a lap 1:13.7. That's a very good lap time for him. And we got the other Alpine driver. No, that's a Williams. What are you on about? We got Racing Stin coming across the line. He's 3 seconds quicker. 1:19.3. I know he could go quicker. He's probably on his banker laps, and he's got more fuel on the car, so expect him to probably go out for one more lap. Modesta Mena goes through, I think, turn 7 and 8. He's got a Ferrari car in front of him. Hopefully that hasn't hindered him too much. Higgsy is also on a lap as well. Pretty much everyone is on the track apart from JC, so he's quite content with his lap at the moment, but expect for him to go out again just so he can find some more track time, because obviously the track does improve every time you go out there. And with only being one DRS straight this evening around Imola, qualifying has become even more crucial. And they just have to nail it. They have to nail the lap. If they do not nail the lap, they're in deep trouble. As Christian Sender, I'm just running on board with him. He's just gone purple in set to 1 right now, so he's looking right good. But let's follow on board with the other Williams of, I think it's Racing Stint, well, it's the Alpine actually, who is going out again. And it is a 1:14.333, which currently sits him in P5. Next come across the line will be the Haas driver of Dewey, who has invalidated his lap time. Quite a few more people have invalidated. What about Neon, who's currently sitting P13 at the moment? He's slowing down, so he's not on an improvement. Modesto Mena, set to 2 for him. So it's probably the other Williams driver who's in the pits right now. Jay Bahahe just go past the Aquamarali. We'll see how he is in set to 2. He's about 10 seconds slower, so he's probably going to go into the pits as well. Now, this is a track where it also requires a lot of bravery around here. You've got to nail the corners quite nicely. And sometimes it's a track where people run out of fuel. I almost ran out of fuel the other day as well. So past turn 19 he goes and into the pits. I think majority of people will be going into the pits now as they're on their cool down laps before we start the final laps. It will be the calm before the storm very, very soon. And the question is, when is the best time to go out? When's not the best time to go out? You don't really want to be stuck out in a lot of traffic, to be honest, around Imola, because we've seen that in real life where traffic could potentially be at a huge disadvantage. As I think Matthew Roberts is on his outlap. Yes, he is, so we'll just follow him as well. I wonder if Pessa and Lefted are improving on their laps, but we'll have to wait and see. I do believe Matthew Roberts was the first driver to go out on a lap earlier on in the session. He's got a lot of work to do, currently sitting in 9th, and the top 10, don't forget, will have to start on the tyres that they set their fastest lap on, which will be the soft compounded tyres. No one, I think, went on the mediums at all this session, so... And I don't usually like to get a weather forecast from the drivers. I always like it to be quite a huge surprise. So we'll see if Matthew Roberts can improve. If he improves a few attempts, he can try and get into the front row if he wants to. Maybe he can try and get into the 113. Maybe one of the chicanes, he can find a bit more time. And I think we're soon seeing the Haas driver as well going into the pit lane. So he will probably go on to a fresh out tyres. Don't forget they have 3 sets of softs they can use throughout the qualifying session and the weekend. And they get 1 set of the soft tyres in the race. So if you play your cards right, this could work favours and work wonders for you. So we'll see what Matthew Roberts' set to 2 lap time is. A 49.3. Purple set to 2 at the moment, so this is looking pretty decent. Let's go on board with him for the rest of his lap. No invalidation problems so far. And look at these houses that are situated by the circuit. Imagine if you lived there. It probably would be very expensive if you do have to live there. So taking the shortest run to the line does Matthew Roberts, and it is a 1:14.1. That was brilliant time he's found. And that puts him into P5. And everyone now is potentially going to go out on an outlap. JC, our current championship leader, is on 1. Lefty is on an outlap, and so is his teammate Higgsy as well. And I think also the constructors' battle has become even more important for the drivers today as well. And I thought that the Ferraris were quite close together, but they weren't. So I think they won't be getting the tow today. And I wonder if some drivers are leaving it a little bit late, or I wonder if we're getting the same issue as last week, where we're seeing things a minute behind, well, a minute ahead of schedule. Or a minute behind schedule, sorry. Which sometimes can be quite weird in this game, as Higgsy has invalidated his outlap, but again, that doesn't matter. So he's going out then. So we should have time for 2 more laps. The first lap will probably be a bit of a feel for the lap on low fuel mode. And then after that, oh, he invalidated. That is not good. We'll see our championship leader right now. AlphaTauri's looking good around this track. I've been looking at chats and they said they like Imola. I've seen Jay Verhage's previous experience around here. He likes this track as well a lot. So watch out for the AlphaTauris tonight, because they need to close in on the constructors. And obviously with JC leading the championship, that does help. Aquamarine, he goes. Whoa, he's invalidated his cut there. So easy to do. I remember the first ever quali lap I did around Imola in a league race. That was the corner that I invalidated. First lap. And I had to go out again. And it wasted my soft tyres. And it killed me. Actually, I was probably on the mediums, actually. Which helped. Because then I still had 3 soft runs to do if I wanted to. So I had more chance to go anything. But since he's already gone out earlier, at least he has a chance to go again. So we have more people going out. Christian Sendra Aquamarine, he doesn't have that much trouble. Mena is about to start his lap. Dewey is about to start his lap as well. Quite a lot of traffic at the moment. Racing Stin, he's starting his lap. McLaren or Peso is about to start his lap too. It's all kicking off here at WOR, and it will just be... You ideally want to be the one who crosses the line last, because that is where the track at its most grippy is. It's quite hot at the moment as Christian Sendel has set the timing screens alight with a 1:13.625, as Neon has unfortunately retired from the session with a 1:14.4. And 9th place is not where you want to be on around this track. So let's go on board with one of the Ferraris. Not Lefty because he's invalidated, but Higgsy, he goes into the pits. He is also invalidated. So it has to be to one of the AlphaTauris, our current championship leader. What can he do? Can he get higher than 4th? 1:13.9 puts him into P3. Can any of the Alpines and Williams do something about it? Modesto Mena goes into P8. Dewey is looking quite good as well. We'll see if he does not invalidate. He also takes the shortest run to the line, 1:14.3. He improves by 3 tenths to go into P3. No, P8, sorry. Primos could not improve on Christian Sendel's time. Jay has unfortunately invalidated. Lefted has invalidated also. So that is it then for qualifying, and it is Christian Sendel on pole position. I do believe he's got pole already this season, but he hasn't had it in a while. So This will be the wake-up call he needs, and this will be the motivation that he needs as well to get on top. But I wonder, with a long run into turn 2, could starting on pole be a hindrance? We'll have to wait and see. So we'll just wait for, obviously, Christian Sendel to go in into the pits. And then we could get this race underway. I believe it's 32 laps. And there could be a safety car. It's highly likely, to be honest, that there's going to be a safety car. With the fact that it is a new track. And you can tell who has put in the practice around Imola and who hasn't. Because I know some of you had league races there already, but not many leagues have raced around Imola yet. So, but the ones who have already had an Imola race on this game will help them a lot, so they know what the strategy is. So we'll look at your qualifying results then. So Christian Sendel on pole position, Primos P2, JC P3, JP4, Matthew Roberts P5, Peso P6, Racing Stin P7, Dewey P8, Modesta Mena in 9th, Preach in P10, then we got Neon, Lefted and Higgsy bringing up the rear. So that is your qualifying session that is just finished. And what a race. Oh, I was not meant to do that. Just give me a moment. And luckily I pressed the right button there, which was good. That was great to see. But anyway, soft to hard tyres is what the drivers will be expected to do. But they could do soft to mediums if they're aggressive enough. But they just got to be very wary on the tyres. Because if their tyres are not in good condition, because I've done a race around their tyre wear, like the softs, like it can last a distance, but it sometimes can be a bit of an issue. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. This could be quite huge repercussions on the championship standings. So how will the drivers fare? Well, in about 45 minutes, we will find out, as we are about to get started with the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, and I think I said that wrong, and it is looking quite cloudy at the moment in Imola. So here we go. We are about to get underway then here in Imola, and the drivers are going on to their formation lap. And it would help if I get the tyres up. There we go. That will help me quite a lot. So we have got obviously top 11, 10 on the softs. They had no choice, but they had to pit, obviously. And we have got Lefted on the hard tyres and Higgsy on the medium compounded tyres. Now, hards are not the best tyres to start on, especially with these overcast conditions. Higgsy, I'm not too sure either, but Higgsy is probably going for the alternate strategy. Neil might be playing it good because it could get dark. We could see some rain. You never know what the weather could throw in store, because we've seen the weather just play havoc into everybody's races, even mine. And you just got to be alert. And I wonder how many drivers have put practice into Imola in the wet. You can try. I think you can see a bit of sun trying to peek through as well. So the track temperature could get a bit warmer. It's quite cooler at the moment, so they've got to warm up their tyres. They got to warm up the brakes. This is very, very key. So let's see then, as everyone is making their way onto the grid. Hopefully you enjoy this race with 32 laps awaiting our drivers. The drivers are into the unknown, and I think the drivers will be more into the unknown next week as we head to Jeddah, our final new track. And I don't think any league has run Jeddah, so we'll be one of the first ones. could be interesting, but obviously we are at Imola first. So, here we go then. So we'll wait for the 5 red lights. The green flag is waving. The 5 red lights are on. Sendor is on pole with Primos alongside. And we are underway and it's go, go, go. Primos had a fantastic start. I told you that P1 may be a bit of a hindrance. So far, JC might have a better start too as they head towards turn 2, going side by side with the Alfa Romeo driver. Couldn't quite make it work. Everyone has made it cleanly so far, which is very, very great to see. Two of the AlphaTauris having a good scrap as well. Jay is up into P3 ahead of the other JC. In P4, Matthew Roberts has also got to a good start as well as they all make their way towards turn 7 and 8 as they go up the hill. It's very tricky corner there as Dewey is making ground as well up the inside of Racing Stint, and he's up into P8. We've got the Mercedes of Pridgester who is trying to get past Racing Stint as well. So I wonder if Racing Stint, who's already struggling already at the opening stints of the race, maybe he's not warming his tyres up as they head towards Aquamarine Rally at this moment in time. As Primos, he's already pulling away from his championship rivals as we do have a yellow flag that is left in, who's had a bit of a spin and he's got some front wing damage. So I wonder if he got caught in Aquamarine Rally and he reset to track as well. And I don't think that is allowed in this league, so he's going to have a bit of a telling off so far. So it's Primos, from Christian Sendel, from Jay, from JC, from Matthew Roberts, from Peso, and from Modestinino, and from Dewey so far. As Matthew Roberts is out of the race, can we see a safety car? Let's go on board. We have a VSC has left at his pits, which doesn't help because I can't see how Matthew Roberts lost the car. So he might have lost it quite early into the start-finish straight, which is quite surprising. But at least Lefty took advantage of the VSC and he's pitting and he's now going on to the mediums. So he's turning it obviously into a 2-stop race. Can he stretch the mediums? Well, he could technically stretch the mediums to 19. And I think soft to mediums obviously is viable. So this could be good for Lefty to get back into this race. So we're on lap 2 of 32. Obviously they've got to keep to a certain delta under this VSC because otherwise they will receive a drive-free penalty. The softs can last 13 laps, medium 17, hard 22 laps. So that is the things that the drivers have got to consider on in terms of tyre life. As Sendel, bit of a tank slap, I think that was a bit of oversteer. So DRS enabled for everybody. And Racing Stint is in the pits then. And he's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. But he should not give up because points are on offer for top 10. And then one of you will go on for the memes as well. Christian is going to try and close in now. Obviously no DRS yet until the end of the 3rd lap because there is only one DRS zone. Up the hill they go. Christian Sendel looking quite confident. So is J2. And this could be, I think this could definitely be a race in terms of strategy. So we'll see. As I think it's getting quite dark. It might be just me. Or it might just be the sun trying to peek through. There is some bits of the track where it's obviously more overcast than others. So now, obviously, the curbs. Watch out for the curbs on this game. It can be deadly if you touch them. I have to say, the double chicane, turn 4, 12 and 13, Aquamarine Rally, and then 14 and 15. Curves to watch out for, and then obviously 2 and 3, 2, 3 and 4 as well, and then turn 5 and 6. So let's go on the off-board shot. And let's watch on board with Neon as he gets past Pridged quite comfortably up into P8. 5 and 6 they go. And he's going to try and close in on the house of Dewey. Neon setting a purple set to 1, so he is closing He's faster than anyone else so far. This could be a really good capitalising jump. Look at the straight line speed he's carrying and traction as well as they head towards turn 12 and 13 in the back of Morale. There they go. And set to 3 comes right now. Ooh, quite tight between these two. But they managed to keep it close together. Neon could go for a late lunge as they head towards 16. And now heading towards turn 17. Not quite for the Red Bull driver. But Dewey is pulling up some great defensive work. You can see the onboard as well. Meanwhile, Modestino is trying to get past Pesso. But let's watch Neon once again. Lunge he is looking for. Can he get past the Haas driver? He does. Dewey was able to hold Neon for quite a bit there. But obviously Neon being the faster driver, he's now going to go on the attack. I'm just watching the ERS deploy at quite a rapid rate. I'm watching Neon's on 20%. Whereas the front lot, they're doing a lot better in terms of their ERS management. Top 3 staying exactly as they are as well. Top 2 being unchanged. And obviously the Apatari switching. Obviously Jay being the faster driver at the moment, which is quite surprising because it's usually the other way around. Have we got another yellow flag? That is Neon out. That is Neon out of the race. Now, can I go on board with Racing Stin? Safety car. Now, I think that's in... Is that after Aquamarelli? No, actually, no, it's not. It's middle of turn 10, and now his car's gone. Okay, so I'm not able to tell there. But will we see people take advantage of a late safety car, or an early safety car? Primos is going for it. They're probably going on to the hard compounded tyres while they have no other choice. JC goes for the medium, so he's probably committing to a 2-stop race, but you never know, could be a 1-stop. A few people trying to double stack. Dewey goes in then onto the hard tyres. Pritch is going in, and so is Higgsley, I think. Pretty much everybody is going in apart from the top 2. So I wonder if they pass the start-finish straight when obviously Neon retired and obviously they saw the safety car and that was a bit of trouble for them. So that's probably why they couldn't pit. They had no other choice. So for them too, it could be damage limitation. I think Christian Sendor, couldn't do anything. But Jay, I think he saw JCP. I don't know. It's hard to tell. And Primos is already going to catch up to the back of them on those hards. So I wonder if we start to obviously see the soft tyres start to degrade a bit more in about 9 laps. Obviously, since the safety car is at a reduced pace, it can change things. And we only got 1 penalty so far, and that is the likes of JC, who's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. No one has got any track limit warnings so far. Well, no, track limit penalties. We don't know about warning because warnings don't pop up, which is a feature that I like someone in Co-Masters to bring, please. Thank you very much. So, we've got more people in the pits. Sendo is in the pits then. So he's compromising track position. He's compromising track position, so maybe he did not have a choice and everyone else around him did. We don't know. So he comes out. Where is he going to come out? So he's got some clear air at the moment. But obviously when he catches up to Lefted, this could put him back in this race. Lefted, I think, pitted only recently, so he wasn't expecting him to pit. And the ones that have just pitted, they got to heat their tyres up. You can't just not heat your tyres. That is a mistake that I have made around here. I just don't heat my tyres, and it just costs me so much time. And when you had to turn 2 in this case around Imola, it is a big danger. So I think we're just waiting for Racing Stin to catch up to the rest of the field. So we'll see then what can Racing Stin do, because there's obviously only 11 drivers still in this race so far. And he's caught up quite quickly as the safety car is in this lap. So let's watch Jay, as he's going to be the one controlling the safety car restart. So there he goes. Jay has a good restart compared to Primos at the moment. Primos took a while to warm into temperature. It's going to be 3 wide in the background as well. But let's watch Modesto as he tries to get past, Peso into turn 3, which he does. And they're still trying to heat because the safety car hasn't been on for so long. There's quite a few people start trying to heat their tyres. Christian Sendel already making moves here in Imola. Going up into P7, we've got 2 of the Ferraris also making headway. Higgsy just got past his teammate, left it up to P9. JC is going to see if he can try and get past Primos. Now, we do know for JC it's a bit of a gamble, but if the gamble pays off, this could work wonders for him, and this could do huge favours for AlphaTauri in the Constructors' Championship. And the one thing that's going to play a factor now with the field, pretty much most of the field all bunched up now, is the dreaded DRS train. And to be honest, you do not want to be in a DRS train around Imola. No, no, no. So let's watch JC then, as he's looking very primed for attack against Primos. Christian Sendel doing the same. Christian Sendel, I think, has got past Dewey. Yes, he has. Very comfortably up into P6. And JC, second chance to get past Primos due to dirty air. It's not possible around here, and the track is getting better. Track conditions are getting better, folks. But like we said, you never know what the weather could throw at store at us. Higgsy gets past Racing Stin, up into 8th position. And I wonder if his next goals is to try and get past Dewey in the Haas. I think loads of people have different goals at this race at the moment. And obviously with the likes of Jay, I think Jay, the only driver that is yet to stop. So he will have to, unfortunately, pit again, which is not what he wants. But maybe he has a different plan. That's probably why he's staying out. So, DRS then, JC. JC is in the pit. So I wonder if he's going to serve his 5-second stop go, which he is. And I wonder if he's got a front wind change. Yes, he has got a front wind change. That's why I was pitting early. We do have a yellow flag. That is Higgsy, I think. And we got a VSC. Ooh. Oh, look at Higgsy's front wing damage. Oh, goodness. My oh my, it does look awful to look at. He will, I don't know how he's going to limit to the pits like that, but he's got to call it. He has got to call it. He was probably hoping for a safety car, but unfortunately, there isn't going to be a safety car. So he's got a lot of work to do to catch up. He's got to be careful not to be lapped. Now, I think Primos is realising that Jay's soft tyre is starting to go off. So, if Primos doesn't get past within the next couple of laps, then Primos could be in a lot of trouble and pain for those medium tyres for the rest of the race. But We know what Primos can do. We saw him getting a fantastic pole in Japan in Tier 1. He was a tough cookie and he delivered. Even though he didn't have a good race, he showed that he could deliver against the best of the best. And I wonder when the VSC is going to be ending. I don't know when it's going to end, to be honest. It is quite a long VSC. Here we go. DRS enabled again. And we saw Jay left it and Higgsy. Jay especially definitely took advantage of the safety car. So he hasn't lost that much time over the others. So let's see if we can fight back. Higgsy, due to his front wing damage, unfortunately, has been forced to pit. But at least he's got an undamaged front wing now. So he can focus. Let's hope and pray, guys, that he does not have any floor damage. As I take a sip of my water, because obviously commentating on my own is not the easiest of tasks, but obviously bear with me. And so, Modestino, as he's now known in the game, leads by 0.4 of seconds over Primos. And everybody has now made their first stop. And it's a question on whether they can get those tyres to last the distance or not. Some people think they can. Some people are just going to hope for a late safety car. I would like for a late safety car to happen because it brings up quite a lot of suspense for the drivers. You never know what could happen. Christian Sendel is right on the back of Primos, so Primos is probably thinking, if I can't get past Modestino, I could potentially get past. So let's go on board with Christian Sendel. Don't forget, he was the man that delivered in qualifying, and he wants to be the man to win this race. Here's his first challenger. Pass into turn 4. He can't get past at the moment. I wonder how they're going to fare towards turn 5 and then turn 6. Heading towards up the hill, up the crest into turn 7. Christian Sendel stays behind. He doesn't want to close in too much because of the dirty air. Because we know how that feels for Christian Sendel. He's been so close through dirty air before, and all that we see there is just obviously spins. Spins and more spins. So he's got to take advantage of the chance because he's seeing a few people, well, pretty much everyone's on them. Well, we got Primos, Pezzo, Prish and Dewey on the hards. Everybody else is on the mediums. Now, Christian Sendel is on the newer tyres compared to the guys up front, so this could be Christian Sendel's race to lose. Unless he doesn't have to pit again. So the track is definitely getting warmer. So is it helping the softer tyres such as the mediums? Or is it helping the harder tyres? As there was almost a little bit of a late braking session for Christian Sendel. And he's a little bit slower on this lap. So, where is he that he's gaining more time and where is he losing time? I think that is what he's thinking in his mind. If he has a Jeff as well, Jeff's probably looking at sector times in a special program or something, which obviously we can't see. I kind of wish we could see, because otherwise it's a bit of an issue. Now, we're starting to drop a bit of frames here, which is not ideal, so just give me a minute. I don't know why we were dropping frames. It was a bit annoying, but I think we are back. There we are. So we are back, folks, hopefully. Even if it was just a brief moment. Yellow flag! Ferraris again. Is it Higgsy? Yes, it is Higgsy. Same place. Front wing again. Oh, goodness day. Get any worse for Higgsy. Oh, it is absolutely painful. He wishes that his day could go any better. He wouldn't want this day to go any worse for him, which is a bit sad, but there's still a lot of work to do, and there's still plenty of opportunities for other people to make mistakes. So I think Higgsy's doing well to manage the damage limitation. And as I was saying that, he has retired from the session. So the yellow flag in sector 1 will be for the stricken Ferrari car. So more motivation now is if you're in the top 10, you get points. So a huge incentive. And you can see Sendel right on the back of this, going towards turn 5 and then turn 6. This is a battle for the lead. This is a battle between the hard tyres versus the medium tyres. The more aggressive tyres versus the more durable tyres. Which strategy is going to pay off? We don't know. But Christian Sendel is trying to prove to us that his strategy is the one to be on. Ackerman and Morale, they're about to go through now. Oh, a bit of a swerve. He's lost a bit of time there. It's Christian Sendel, but Pezzo getting a 3-second time penalty. More time penalties due to track limits then. I have to say, that is absolutely huge. And I wonder if Modesto, I was going to say Modesto was concentrating ball up the gap, but he's off to a bit of a spin and he's gone to Narnia. So, which is a shame for him. So he's going into the pits. So I wonder what tyres he's going to go on for. Is he going to go for another set of mediums? Another set of mediums he goes, which is not what he wanted to do, but there's no way the softs can make it. And I believe lap 21 is if they wanted to do the 2-stop, they would try and do that. But I know obviously since it is a 1-stop race, they want to try and make the 1-stop last. But in some tracks it is kind of impossible, like Mexico, but we've seen people make them 1-stop work in Mexico before. Another yellow flag. Ooh, who's that? I can't see where the yellow flag is, but Primos has let through Christian Sendel. I wonder if it's an illegal overtake due to yellow flags? Interesting. Or is it just Christian Sendel just fighting back harder? So Jay has got past Pridge now. I wonder if Pridge is a ghost. Yes, he is. I don't think he's joined the session, and unfortunately, I do not have him as a friend on Steam, so I'm not able to add him. JC has got a 3-second time penalty. Peso, beautiful move into turn 2. It was annoying that I missed that, but Peso is up into the podium positions now, which is good news for him. I think he's in net P2 because the Hards could make it to the end from here. I believe, as far as I'm aware. Primos is now back in the lead. So these two having a nice scrap. This could get very exciting towards the end of the race, as long as they try to avoid the curbs. If they go on the curbs too much, that is where they can get underbody damage, as I found out in Belgium a couple of weeks ago. Oh! Left it out of the race, but I wasn't talking about left it. Christian Sendel, I have to say, what a save for him. And safety car, I think everyone's going to go on softs. You can't go on softs for an extra 3 laps on the safety car period. You can't get to the end. So where, I think, was it turn the middle of turn 4? Just past, yeah, I think it's middle of turn 4 or 3. Yeah, middle of turn 4. So everyone's got to go on softs now. Everybody. The softs will make an extra few laps. They've got to. If no one pits for softs, they're in danger. Some people might be a bit more cautious, possibly go on mediums, but if you're not pitting, your tyres won't get to the end period, and your hards will just not last a lifetime. So Dewey, I think, decided to go for the less aggressive strategy and go on the mediums. Jay has gone for softs. What about Prish? He's going on mediums, which he's used in qualifying. Modestino, he's probably going on mediums too, or is he going on softs? He's going on softs. So there we go. Everybody then has pitted. Obviously, with 1 and 2 using their mediums from qualifying, they'll be the one that's the most dangerous, but at least the 1 extra lap will not make a difference here. So again, do watch out. And we are going to be looking at the tyre deltas, the tyre situation. And I don't think it's going to take long for the drivers to catch up. So I will obviously check. Let me have a look. If I can find the drive. There we go. That took me a while. Jess. So the difference between the softs and the mediums, 9/10 of a second. And the difference between the softs and the hards, 1.381 seconds. So, watch out for Dewey. He's going to fall off in the first few laps, but towards the end, watch out. Saber Pridged. Everyone else is equal footing, so game on. And let us know your predictions in the chat. Who do you think is going to win this race? And with the drivers going to a track where none of the F1 drivers in real life have been to next week, if they don't get a good result next week, they're already on the back foot going into Jeddah. So I think we'll just wait for JC to catch up now. He was the one, obviously, double stacking does not work on the game. We saw Ferrari in the real life Grand Prix make the double stacking work. Cody's, I kind of wish you implement it, please. And I think we did see someone go wide under safety car. And we did see, I think, Commander LK that's commented in the chat. Hope you're doing well. He's saying that Sendel could win this race. Well, he's got no penalties. He's having a nice battle with Primos. It could be down to any of those two. Racing Sin as well. That safety car has definitely helped him. He's got no penalties. Neither has Jay. And that's probably put the ones who's got penalties out of contention, because when they saw the safety car, they were thinking, oh no. They were probably comfortable that their tyres were going to go to the end, and then when the safety car has been brought in, but at least for them, at least it wasn't brought in towards the end. But you never know, there could be a safety car towards the end. And safety car is in this lap, and Racing Headspace just commented in the chat saying too tough to call, and I have to say I do agree. It is very tough to call, and that's why I love commenting on this race. we are about to get underway once again. And look at this. Racing Stin is an almighty getaway, but Christian Sendel has not. I think Christian Sendel's been caught napping, and that's allowing the Alpine drivers to work beautifully as a team. Peso tries to go around the inside of Racing Stin. Nicely does it. Dewey has also had a good start. Around turn 5 goes both of these drivers, but to no avail at the moment. A few drivers dropping off at the moment, but the train is just going to keep growing and growing and growing, and I do love this part of the race, where they're all close together and all bunches like lap 1. And Ben van der Meer said no penalties could make you win this race, and I agree. And Chad Wong says softs could last to the end. Yes, they can. I have done a race where I pitted around this time for soft tyres, and they did make it to the end. And it was a safety car at that point as well. So you can do it. You can do it. But I'm a person that's very good on tyre wear. But obviously I don't push as much, and I'm not in battles very much. Whereas a lot of these drivers are in battles, so you never know. So some drivers could be forced to make some compromises. And Chad's also pointed out that he's not sure on Dewey's tyre choice. Well, he's already dropping way down the field at the moment as Modestino has got past him. But Mina has already got a pine penalty. JC, oh, it's Dewey's had a spin. Oh, and the inside of turn 3, unfortunately. That's cost him a bit of time now, does the 69 car. I don't think he's got any damage though, but tyre temps, ugh. I wouldn't want to be in Dewey's situation right now. So the gap now between Primos and Christian Sendel around about 0.5 of a second. So this could change things massively. Racing Stin and Jay could still be on the podium. I'm not going to check warnings. I'm going to leave that as an absolute surprise. If they get a penalty, then tough. DRS enabled. Christian Sendel is looking feisty. You can't use the DRS on this lap. But he could use it next lap. Now, I don't know why I didn't have it enabled. There we go. That does help a little bit. There we go. So you can now see the telemetry. So we can now see the ERS used to its full potential. So we're looking at Christian Sendel's ERS, and he's on around about 65%. Looking at that lovely helicopter camera. Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, folks. And I think Christian Sendel's going for a late Sendel! No! That's changed things massively. Is that a warning for Sendel? I wonder if Sendel's picked up some front wing damage. This is huge. This is huge. Peso's now up to P2. Christian Sendel can't afford to make any more mistakes. Is this him buckling under the pressure? This might be. He's got to use the DRS now. I wonder if the pressure's getting to him. Peso has got the move into turn 1. Past Primos into turn 2. There you go. Heading towards turn 3 and then into turn 4. Damage limitation for some of these drivers. Oh! What has happened there? Safety car. So Racing Stin and JC are out of the race. I'm just trying to see. I think their car's gone. I think they both made it coming together. And we're down to 8 drivers? 7? I don't know. I'm missing out on all the big crashes today. So now Dewey has decided, right, I'm not going on those mediums anymore. And I'm going on the softs. Prish, I wonder if he's going to do the same thing. My, this is going to be close. Again, you do not want to be the guys that are on penalties. Racing Stin was on for a podium, and it was Tamburello where Jay crashed, and then Racing Stin had nowhere to go by the looks of things. And that's what's caused them to collide a little bit. So the safety car is waiting just at the point where obviously the two drivers collided. Oh, interesting. People going for fresh softs instead of track position. Now, obviously, Primos had nothing to lose because his teammate has retired. Prish has stayed out. Now, I thought he would have gone into the pits, but yeah, and Racing Stin is in the chat. He's gutted and he said he's got killed. Well, I think the stewards are going to be in for a busy time, I should say, in Tier 2. And I think this is the third or fourth safety car that we've had in Imola now. To be fair, the race I did in Imola, we had, I think, 2 or 3. Or did we just have 2? Or we might have had... Actually, no, we had 2. I can't remember when I raced around here. This is going to be a mad sprint to the finish now. It's going to be not that long to go until the end. Christian Sendel has been given an absolute lifeline. Even though he had that spin, he's still back in this race. But don't forget, Peso, Prish, Modestino and Dewey has got a time penalty. This, for all these drivers that are still in, they just can't give up, even if they haven't crashed. As all, someone's ghosted. That's probably... I wonder if Prish is still disconnected. Let's go on board with him. That's why. So the AI has not pitted. Okay. That is... Okay. So technically that means we're down to 6 drivers then? Because obviously the AI... And it's going to be a sprint to the finish. They're only going to have a few green flag laps, so the drivers have got to make it count. And I'm excited for the end of this race, and I'm sure you are going to be excited for the end of this race as well. And there is something in the chat about these incidents. It's a pity drivers seem to clash every week. Stewards need to get into it and give penalties, because every week we all see unnecessarily clashes, except when overtaken, and try again. Well, I think this is what it is. They're just taking so many risks, I think. Safety cars in this lap. Peso has not led on the safety car in WOR. So, this could be huge. But he's got a penalty. I'm not sure what time penalty he's got, because I haven't got it. So here we go then, Peso. Yeah, he's nailed that restart. Christian Sendel has 2. But Primos getting a bit squirmy as well, but he's got the straight line speed to get past the AI car. Now Jay, I wonder if the ghost is distracting him a little bit with the braking reference. So he's going past him to turn 4, and Prish is AI has had a bit of a moment. Modestino gets past the AI. No, yeah he does, up the 5th. And Dewey is losing a bit of time at the moment. But it's Peso that still leads. Christian Sendel in P2 as they all go up the hill now. And the different camera angles just show how high speed you can go around this track. So at the moment, with penalties into this, it looks like Christian Sendel is going to be winning this race with Primos in second. But if Pesser can pull away up to 3 seconds, Pesser can still win this race. So he's got to concentrate with that clear air. So we can see, I think 2 tenths is the gap. So 72%. Jay could be on the podium. I think Jay could be on the podium, but he can't let Pezzo increase the gap like that. So he's going to try and work together with Christian Sendel and Primos to stay in that train, which could last for quite a bit of time, actually. And I think the Williams driver is closing in now. So up the hill into turn number 7. And you're just braking ever so slightly, lifting a little bit, but just a dab on the brakes could do in some of the corners. Back of Morale, that's where you need to brake. That's where you need to brake at the moment. Modestino has got a time penalty. But he's still on the back of Jay. Oh, this could be oh so huge. This could be almighty for them, as a lot of these drivers are just on the edge. And there's some drivers that just can't get past in the gravel trap. Primos as well. Let's watch Sendel. This could be the move that he's looking for the race lead. You can see Pesso's running out of VRS. And we see, I think, Modestino's got past Jay. So Jay losing a bit of ground at the moment. But let's go on to the off-board shot. Pesso, it's nice to see that he's defending. And there is a prediction in the chat that the way that these guys are battling, there could be a collision. Well, I'm not going to say things too much. I don't really want to jinx it. So, I don't really want to jinx things too much. So, 38% Christian Sendel is on the RS, so he is pushing. He wants that race lead on track, but would he rather want to defend from behind and not attack because he knows that the driver in front has got a penalty? That's what I would do. That's what I would do, to be honest, because everyone's just so close. The ones without the penalties are going to be on the podium at this rate, the way this is going. Obviously, with Modestino now getting a penalty, he's now probably on 6 seconds now. So 3 laps to go. Here we go then. Oh my goodness, it's a 4-way fight for the lead. Someone's got to back off here. Christian Sendel takes the lead. Primos in P2. Pezzo has dropped from 1st to P4. So he's struggling a little bit. Now he's dropped to 5th. 1st to 5th. You can see the huge pace difference that these drivers are facing. Pace difference, not page difference. Don't know why I said page for a weird reason. But that was insane. How do they keep the cars on the road without any collisions? That, I have to say, was incredible. Primos in 2nd. He can still be on for the race victory. But the one advantage that Primos has, that Christian doesn't, Primos is on fresh softs compared to Christian. Christian is on 10 lap old softs. His could go at any minute. So Primos, launch of attack is now. Attack mode engaged. Right here down the hill. And yes, Primos could really go into play here. Turn 19, they go onto the start finish straight. Attack mode engaged once again. This could be the move for the race lead that they're looking for. Here he goes. Modestino is now in the action. Up into P2 on track. This is incredible. He knows that Christian Sendel is struggling a little bit. My oh my, this is insane last couple of laps, I have to say. Incredible. And if this race is good enough towards the end, even though with this few drivers, imagine what Tier 1 is going to be next week. Oh my goodness, crazy. And is anyone running out of fuel? I thought I saw the yellow warning light for some of the drivers, but obviously not. Oh! Christian Sandal's gone for a spin and he's collected Jay. Oh no, so Jay was on for a podium, but unfortunately, I think that's off the cards right now. And Sandal is out of the race. Oh my goodness, it would have been a safety car if it was not less than a lap to go, but we have got a lap to go. So is this an easy win for Primos? He's got the fastest lap. He's got one more lap to do it, but he's been challenged by the Williams driver of Modestino. But I think he didn't fight because he knew that Modestino's got way too many penalties. Dewey's up to third. That's how, oh my God, that's how crazy this race has been at the moment. Absolutely crazy, but I think you have to agree with me that the racing has... I mean, the racing has got to improve, the racing standards, I have to say, in this tier. But hopefully they will learn from this, obviously going into it. And we will see how Modestino and Primos could attempt these final few laps. And yes, I did jinx it, Chad. I did jinx it, and I'm not happy about that. And Modestino is running out of VRS, but I don't think he's going to fend off too much. So, I think Modestino's going to get fourth, I think. Oh, Primos has got a time penalty, but that doesn't really matter because Modestino's got 6 seconds. So, Primos wins. Modestino second, well, Peso second now. Dewey goes to 4, Modestino third. And what has it done to my words are going wrong today, sorry. And someone has asked why there's so few drivers starting this race. I do not have a clue. So Primos got a penalty on the last lap, but it didn't matter. Here he goes, Primos wins again. And he sent the statements to JC, say, I am coming for this championship. And he is. 3 different nationalities on the podium. And even though there were so few drivers, my oh my, that ending was insane. So, Primos third, Pezzo second, Modestino third, he had 9 seconds in the end. Jay fourth, Dewey fifth, and your retirements are preached. Christian Sendel, Racing Stern, JC, Lefted, Higgsy, Neon, and Matthew Roberts. So, that has been the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. I think that's how you say it in Imola. A lot of people made mistakes today. Standards could improve. Hopefully we'll have a huge driver attendance next week for Jeddah next week. The new track. Fingers crossed, because otherwise it's going to be quite hard to commentate on my own again. But the drivers gave it their all, I have to say. But yeah, driving standards definitely have got to improve there. But Primos saying a huge statement to JC at the moment. Shame about JC's retirement, because he could have gone on for so much more. So, there we go then. So, I'm not going to be doing podium interviews today because I've got stuff to do, but next week join us for Jeddah. It's going to be an unknown for me because I don't have a clue what the strategy is. So, I'm going to have to do some laps around Jeddah, just so I can get a feel for the track, so I know how long the tyres go on for. The drivers will have to do a lot of practice for the track, because for some of them it will be their first experience in a league race. So, unknowns for everybody, and we're the guinea pigs. So, I can't wait. Make sure you join us same time at 8 PM. There's going to be more WOR action tomorrow at 8 PM for the top tier of Xbox. They'll be racing around Imola tomorrow. Tier 1 on PlayStation will be racing around Imola on Friday, and then it'll be the turn Tier 1 and be racing around Imola next Sunday, so they get their glory there as well. So, I've been Jess Games 95. It's been a pleasure commentating this race today. Have a good rest of your evening, and we will see you next week for, is it the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix? I don't know. But anyway, Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. Have a good evening and goodbye.
Antoine is going to be crowned your WR Season 10 champion.
And history's been made. Ballina, the first WOR PS4 champion. What a championship! What a season! Absolutely phenomenal!